Hi folks, how you doing? It's James JT at the movies. Happy Yorkshire Day to you, happy 1st of August. Today's video is, as I said yesterday, back to business as usual. This is my monthly pickups video, everything that I picked up in the month of July 2023. And as always, we're going to start with some DVDs before we move into some Blu-rays. It's nice and simple this time, just DVDs and Blu-rays, no special editions, no 4Ks to show you. So we'll jump right in, shall we? The first one to show you is from a CEX trip just this weekend gone. I saw this one for £1 and thought, do you know what? The cast and the plot intrigued me. And that is Original Intent with Chris Christopherson and Martin Sheen. The next one I picked up purely for Michael Caine. I've not seen this film before, never heard of it before, but for £1 I was more than happy to take a gamble. And this one's called Shiner. All I know about it is that Michael Caine plays a retired boxing coach. The next one I've got for you is an Antonio Banderas movie that I actually got as part of a 3 for £1.49 deal in my local charity shop. I only really wanted one film, but they were insistent that I take some extra DVDs and honour the deal, so I ended up picking up this and the next one that I'm going to show you, which was a double pack. But this is Antonio Banderas in The 13th Warrior. The next one, as I mentioned, was also a freebie in this charity shop deal, so I decided that I would take it since it's still in the shrink wrap, and it's the double bill of Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. Now, I have the first one already in my collection, but I'll probably just let my mum have that, as I know she's a fan of those, and I'll keep the double pack. The next one that I picked up is from that CEX trip again, and my interest in this has been reignited with the fact that they're doing a belated sequel to it in September that's coming out, and I wanted to go and revisit all the sequels and the prequels and whatever else and do a bit of a marathon with Laura in the run-up to it. So I picked up The Exorcist Anthology. So this contains Dominion, The Exorcist Beginning, The Original Exorcist, Exorcist II, The Heretic, and Exorcist III. Now I have The Exorcist and I have Exorcist III on Blu-ray, but I picked that up for the other ones because to get them individually was quite pricey, and then I saw that CEX had that box set and I thought, well, I'll double dip on the first two. The next one is one that I picked up in HMV last week. It's a recent release from the DC animated universe, and that is Justice League Warworld. I really enjoy the DC animated films. DC are my favourite superheroes. As I've said many times, the live action leaves a lot to be desired, but they really knock it out of the park with the animated stuff, and I'm hoping that this will be no exception. So this was the one that I picked up in the charity shop, and the one that I was curious about that made me get the sort of the you know, buy one get two free deal sort of thing. It was the cast and the synopsis that grabbed me on this one, in particular Mike Myers and Nev Campbell, and that is 54. I picked this one up. It's a Nicolas Cage one on Laura's recommendation, can you believe it or not? I've not seen it, but she said it's like John Wick, but with Nicolas Cage, and it's about a pig. And so I was like, that sounds really up my street. And of course, I love Nick Cage, so I'll watch him in anything that he puts out. So I picked up Pig. Another Nick Cage one that I picked up. This is probably his most recent effort, and he's probably his biggest recent effort if he's done any direct-to-video stuff that I maybe don't know about. But this is him along with Nicholas Hoult and Awkwafina in Renfield. He plays Dracula. What's not to love? A classic comedy now. I'm really looking forward to revisiting this. It's been years since I've seen it, and that is Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in Stir Crazy. Picked this one up in the sale at HMV. I've heard mixed things, but I'd like to make my own mind up about it. The cast and the premise intrigue me, and that is Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie in Babylon. This next one we watched at the In-Laws a few weeks ago on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it. So when I saw it in the HMV sale, I thought, do you know what? I will pick that up and I will add it to the collection. And that was Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Sam Raimi producing The Unholy. I'll show these next two together as they kind of go together. So we've got the Critters Collection and Critters Attack. Now this has actually been inspired by Jason Brett talking about them on his channel. And then when I saw them in HMV and I didn't already have them in my collection, I was like, do you know what? I really must get round to checking those out. So for 15 quid, I got the lot of them. I know that there was like a limited run series or a TV movie that was on Shudder, I think, or Netflix, and it's since been removed that I now can't watch, but I'm sure that won't be the end of the world as I'm coming to the party quite late. But I'm looking forward to checking out those 5 movies anyway. This next one I was really excited to watch, and I actually watched it as part of my 30-day movie challenge, so you can see my thoughts on it if you go and look for that vlog. It was alright. It could have been so much better given the cast and the premise, but it just ended up being a run-of-the-mill sort of cheap horror film, really, and that is Russell Crowe in The Pope's Exorcist. It didn't come in this red case, but I have a load of spare sort of colourful cases that I kept from when I decased a load of the movies that are down there, so I decided I'd put it in a red case, and I think it looks better than the flimsy sort of black one that it came in. The penultimate DVD to show you now. I am anybody's for a cheesy, bad shark horror, and so, of course, I had to pick up The Black Demon. I decided just to go with the DVD for this because I'm not expecting, you know, anything good, really. I'm just expecting it to be a really bad but fun shark movie, so I figured the DVD was more than enough for that. £7 for that rather than the 15 quid for the Blu-ray. Just didn't make any sense to me not to do it that way. And then the last DVD to show you before I move on to my pile of Blu-rays and a bit of memorabilia as well to show you was one that I only picked up on DVD because I have the other 4 movies in the franchise on DVD, and I'm a bit OCD like that. If I've got the movies on one format, I'll stick with that format. So I picked up Evil Dead Rise. I'm really looking forward to watching this one soon. I've got some time off work coming up where I've got about 2.5, just shy of 3 weeks off work, and a lot of that time is going to be spent in my evenings watching films and catching up. So yeah, really looking forward to watching Evil Dead Rise. So the next thing I want to show you before I jump into showing you the Blu-rays, which I'll show you in no particular order because, as I say, there's no special editions or anything like that to show you this time, just good old standard Blu-rays, is a little bit of memorabilia. Now, there was a Comic-Con in Huddersfield, not too far from where we live recently, and Laura went along to it to go and show support for one of our friends who runs a comics and records and pop culture related shop called Diversions in Huddersfield, which you should definitely check out. But she also went because Lee Gill, who was an actor in Joker, he played Gary, one of Arthur's friends, was there doing a signing. So she took my Blu-ray slipcover for the movie of Joker and got Lee Gill to sign it. And she also got him to do a little video clip for me saying to subscribe to JT at the Movies. And I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. So I've had it framed because I didn't want it back on the shelf with the Blu-ray and sort of getting scuffed and smudged and whatever else. So we've had it framed, but that is my Joker slipcover signed by Lee Gill, who plays Gary in the movie, and I just think that's absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much, Laura, for this. It's just a brilliant piece to have in the collection, and I'm over the moon that you went and did that for me. Thank you, sweet. Should we talk about some Blu-rays then, folks? You know, I reckon we should. I've just got a small, a humble pile to show you, if you will. But I'm really excited about these titles. The first one is one that I watched on Netflix earlier this year, and had a fun time with it. It's sort of, I wouldn't say it's sort of, you know, anything that's going to blow your mind or change your world, but it's a great little thriller. The DVD is largely out of print over here, and there isn't a UK Blu-ray as far as I've been able to source out. But I was able to get on Amazon Germany for £3.50 The Lazarus Project, starring the late Paul Walker. I really enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to checking it out again. The next one arrived just yesterday. I imported this from Germany. For whatever reason, we don't seem to be getting a physical release of this. And it baffles me that we're not, because I'm sure there'd be a market for it. But for the same price as a UK Blu-ray, I was able to import it. And that is Brendan Fraser in The Whale. So this has got the reversible artwork. I'll do the Kermit's Ghost shot and show you the inside of it there. You can see it's got the artwork with the huge ratings logo that the Germans pop on their media, but this one had the reversible art, so I think that looks a lot neater than having the big sticker on it. From the charity shop where I got the 3 for £1.50 deal on the DVDs, I also picked up one Blu-ray that was £1.50 itself. I picked this up because of who wrote it, the cast and the premise, and that is Johnny Depp in The Rum Diary, which is based on the works of Hunter S. Thompson. Of course, Johnny Depp famously did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, based on Thompson's previous work as well. This next one I wasn't going to pick up until I watched Paul over at Magpie Movies review, where he was sent a copy of this to talk about, and the premise intrigued me greatly. Now, I love a good time travel movie, and I wouldn't have realised that that's what this was by the title of it alone, so I'm really looking forward to checking this one out on my holiday, and that is Lola. I enjoyed this one when I saw it in the cinema earlier this year, although I did think that the third act maybe let the side down a little bit. I felt like the first two acts promised more than it delivered, but on the whole, it was a strong entry into the franchise, and I liked the change in location. It just gave it a bit of a breath of fresh air, so I'm going to be really happy to recheck out Scream 6. Picked this one up in an HMV sale. Well, it was reduced to $6.99. It was the Oscar winner, Best Picture, Nomadland. Now, I've been told by friends that don't go into that if you're not in a not in a good headspace. It's a difficult film to watch, so I'll bear that in mind, and I will watch it when I'm feeling maybe a little less delicate than I have been feeling the last few months. The next one is a CEX pickup, and I'm going to have to change the case on this because it is sticky as anything. I don't like touching it, actually. But I picked this one up after watching a video from my buddy Elliot Cohen, where he did a list of films from his favourite film every year since he came out, and one of the films he mentioned on there was Speed Racer. Now, I've given this film a wide berth for the longest time because I just didn't think it'd be up my street. But then hearing Elliot talk about it made me think, oh, well, actually, do you know what? If he's giving it a pass and saying that it's a good film and worth watching, then there's probably something there, because usually his recommendations are right up my street. So I will give that one a watch soon, and I'll let you know in a follow-up video what I think of it. And then finally, the last Blu-ray to show you, the last title of this whole update, is another CEX pickup. I picked it up the same time that I picked up Speed Racer. And I picked it up because I've been wanting to watch this one for a long time, and also because it seems quite heavily inspired by the likes of Indiana Jones and maybe the Goonies and those action-adventure films, treasure hunting adventure films of the 1980s, and that is Dreamscape. So I've yet to sit down and watch this one, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. And with that, folks, that has been a fairly short and fairly sweet Blu-ray and DVD update compared to how long these things usually are. I thought I picked up more this month than I actually have, but I guess it's been a steady away month for me. So you'll have to let me know down below in the comments if there's any of these that I've shown you that I should be getting to watch straight away, or if you've got any recommendations for me based on what I've shown you. I'd love to hear them. I really do love getting involved in those comments, so please do get involved and let's have a natter about some films. If you've enjoyed the video, drop it a thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know to keep making videos like this. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please think about subscribing to the channel. It would of course help my channel to grow, but it would also mean that I get to keep you around for future videos and get to know you as well, which would mean a lot to me. Above all else, folks, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. The video output might slow down a little bit now after the 30-day challenge, and I have got a holiday next week where I'm going to visit my mum down south, so there might not be as much content as there has been over the last few weeks, but I would dare say there's plenty to keep you going on the channel. Like I say, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.